So in this video I attempt to do an oil filter change, but instead I found this. And once I saw the skid plate, I knew that this build was not going to be easy. And I'll probably find more gremlins that could potentially put a halt to this whole project. You were seeing my previous video, I got this started. So I think before we do anything else, because I'm going to be starting and stopping this bike, testing it here and there as I'm going along. I don't know what condition the oil is in, so the oil for the engine I want to at least replace. So I'm going to start off by doing a general service. So that requires an oil change, oil filter change, and I'm also going to do the air filter. I'm not going to worry about doing the fuel filter change or anything at the moment. I'll do that when I come to replacing the fuel lines. It just makes sense for me. So let's get right onto it. So I don't like the look of this. I don't like the way that's just been held on all dodgy. At this point, I still thought that this was going to be a 5-minute job. So it seems that there's 2 bolts not in there. There's a 3rd bolt at the back not in. There's only 1 bolt left hanging it on. And they stuck these little ties on to try and compensate for that, rather than actually putting some proper bolts in. That's basically how I found the exhaust, which I weren't happy about. But for now, I need to understand what I'm dealing with. I need to take this skid plate off, because this is how you get to the oil drain plug. And yes, one of the first things I went and done was go out and buy myself a Haynes manual, like I did say earlier. So you can see it's a 2-part piece. That's where the oil filter is. And yes, I did buy the tool for that, and it has literally just arrived. And this is the oil drain plug here. Just going to try and crack it off first. Just crack it loose. Oh, you definitely could tell someone else has been here. Okay, good. It's now loose. Where's my oil drain pan? Right, let's see how much of a mess I'm going to make here. Okay, so the crush washer is not coming off of it, so I'll deal with that later. Let's have a little look at this oil. Oh, the crush washer did come off. I mean, yeah. Oh, and it smells really bad too. That needed doing. I don't know when that last was done. Okay. Hopefully I don't have to use any little tricks to get this out. It's time to take the oil filter out. This is saying no. So I'm going to have to do a little trick, which I know. Right. Let's get a cloth in here. And then I might have to do my other trick. I don't want to have to do it, but I will if it's not coming out. I have to resort to a rubber glove now. Okay, I'm going to have to do my other trick. I didn't want to have to do this, but it is seized in there. I didn't want to do it this way, but where it hasn't been changed in so long, it's just seized in there, or they've done it up too tight. I honestly don't know, but the bottom of this oil filter looks like it's oxidised, rusted quite a bit. There you go. The missus would be happy that I'm wearing my gloves now. But she is right, eh? I should be looking after my hands. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to change the spark plug on these quickly whilst the oil is just draining out of the oil filter. It's quite easy. You just pull the front, slide it back, pops off. Get the HT lead out. You can grab the HT lead and just wiggle it out. Quite easy. If you do have a little bit of a problem, maybe get some thin nose pliers and just pull it out a little. What you would need is a 16mm spark plug socket. I'm going to use what came with the motorcycle. It's good because it's thin and there's a rubber seal in there that basically stops the water, and if there's an oil leak or anything like that, from going into towards the spark plug and stopping this from actually connecting properly and giving it a spark. So I would prefer to just push that in. I prefer to use this tool because it's skinnier and easier to pull in and out. Coming out nice and freely. Well, it should do because I've already had them out, haven't I? As I'm editing and I'm sitting here, watch myself try and pull this spark plug out with a screwdriver, I'm just sitting thinking, come on Ben, just grab a magnet stick, pull it out. You've got plenty of them. Whilst I was filming here, I did get interrupted, but it's okay, it was all good, and I managed to get that spark plug out eventually. Spark plug I'm using is the BKR7EKC, and that's by NGK. I'm just going to quickly check to make sure that these are spaced properly, and it seems a little bit open, so I'm going to close it a tad. Okay, much better. There we are. Now do the other side. Oh, that seems better. That seems okay. Maybe a little tap. You must be careful when doing this not to do it too far. Just make sure you get your gaps right. Not a lot of people check these straight out of the box. I do. If you think, or if you know, if it actually makes a difference about doing the correct spacing, please let me know down in the comments and educate me. I did get the spacing out of the Haynes manual, so that's what I was going off. But is it really, really important? I know it needs to be apart, but does it really, really matter how far apart? Does it have to be bang on? Does it not? Okay, so I've done that up half hand tight. Now, you either want to go half or 3/4 until basically you feel it really pinch. You just want to crush that crush washer. So it's still going, still going. Now it's have some resistance, and I'm going to push it a little bit more. And there. So it was almost 3/4 round. So halfway to 3/4. And where do I get that? You get that from the back of the pack. You even get torque settings, but I can't put a torque wrench on this. Okay, put the HT lead back in. I will at some point replace this, and this looks a little bit grubby. It's been on its side at some point. But the rest of the bike looks good. Make sure with this, now this caught me out. Make sure you put these little 2 rubber bits in first and then clip it in. I was trying to do it from the front and push it in. It doesn't work well. So push it from the back and then clip the front. Make sure this is not fouled. The HT lead. There you go. All good. Yep, I'll be getting a new one of that as well. So I'm not going to show you how to do the other side, but it's the same process. So you see this little trick here? Well, this solves one problem, but it's definitely not the last. I don't like doing it this way. It really feels like cowboy way. But sometimes you just have to. Especially when it doesn't want to come off. So you can use the rag trick, which failed for me this time. But as you can see, like that, bar through there and turn it. Okay, I'm going to put the oil filter back in, and this is a high flow part number HF163. If you want to know where I got all these parts from, I got them from Motorworks. And if you want to visit them, there's a QR code there. Just pause the screen and get your phone out and scan the code. They are not sponsors of mine or anything, but that's where I get them from. So I've dipped my finger in some fresh oil and I'm just going to quickly put it around the seal here. Put my tool on. Just do it up hand tight until I can feel it pinch. Okay, about there. Just do a half turn. That's it, new oil filter in. But if you do have a torque wrench available, the torque wrench for this settings is 11 Newton meters. Got a new sump washer there. And I'm going to put this in. The torque settings for this is 32 Newton meters, or you can do the half turn to 3/4 turns once you've nipped it up hand tight. And there we are, sorted. That was easy. Apart from the trouble of that. But next time I do this, it should come out easy. Now I'm going to put the oil in. How you do that is from the left side of the engine, you just pull this little cap off here. And you pour it in there. But what you do need to do is... So take a look at the spyglass here. You want it to end up within that circle, ideally towards the top. I am going to fill it just slightly over. Once the bike is started, the oil level should come down, and that's because we have an empty oil filter and we will be left exactly where we want it. This is the part where I pour it everywhere. They recommend 3.75 litres and this is a 4 litre can, so it'll almost be all of it. That's with oil and filter. If you're doing it just the oil change and not the filter, then it's 3.5 from memory. 3.5 litres. Okay, that's 3.5 right now. I'm gonna put a bit more in. That's about 3.75, I'll say. So let's start it up and get it running for a little bit. Just remember to put the cap back in. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit for about 10 minutes and we will come back and check the oil level. Whilst I'm editing here, I've noticed that the oil looks really murky. What do you think? Do you think it's okay, or do you think I should flush another lot of new oil through? Do you think the old oil was that contaminated and left in there so long? What are your thoughts? I'd like to know. Just stick it down in the comments. Should I replace the oil again, or is it okay? Do you think I should just leave it? Okay, and there we are, perfect. Just underneath that line, as you can see there, that's exactly where we want it. So yeah, good stuff. I'll put the skid plate on later in another episode once I've decided the right way to go about this and fix it. Hey guys, may I remind you, hit that like, subscribe and the bell notifications to all. This really helped me. Look out for my next videos, go and click on them, you'll see them just here. In my next video I'll be attempting to change the clutch slave cylinder, and yeah, what fun I have with that.